Aye, we give you the facts. It's not what you think. Popeye Newsling, Young King, 1 yard, bless.
Good morning, Popeye. Grandma watch Popeyes every morning and every night.
Greetings, viewers and subscribers. So if you plan on going out this Mother's Day, Sunday, May 14, I am recommending two events. The first one will be held at Tipsy's Bar along the Landilo Main Road, right beside Coconut Groves. They're going to be having food and refreshment on sale all day. Tickets are also on sale at the venue. Also, Indian Curry and Jerk along the Petersfield Main Road in Westmoreland. They'll be hosting a Mother's Day dinner and concert called Mom is Love. They'll be starting at 2 p.m. and cabaret starts at 3 p.m. Tickets are also on sale for the event. Check them out. Now, we are going to be dropping another video later on. Stand by for that. But if you look on your screen, that message was sent out to police officers in the parish of Westmoreland. I'm going to read a part of it. It says, Brief, Little London Police Station. It is titled, Alleged Threat Made on the Lives of Police Officers. Information received just now, and I've covered the person's name. Brother of, I've also covered that person's name, and that is for legal reasons. Who was arrested on Saturday in connection with the murder at Maysmuir has been issuing death threats on the lives of police officers. Another section of the message reads, Teams on patrol must wear a ballistic vest and remain alert at all times, in or out of the unit, and assess all situations carefully and be ready to defend themselves, their colleagues, and the citizens. The message closed off with this. This elevated threat is considered extreme and raises the need for continued vigilance on or off duty. Subsequently, the contents of this message as to the nature of the threat expressed must form part of all briefings. Like I said, that message was circulated to police officers in the parish of Westmoreland last month. Well, there was an incident last night, and investigators, they are probing to see if this incident has anything to do with this threat, or did it have something to do with another incident, which I will soon tell you about. A 27-year-old police constable. He's stationed in the parish of St. James, but he's living at Ebenezer District at Tap Road in the Little London area in the parish of Westmoreland. He is lucky to be alive. Last night, Wednesday, May 10, about 10:30, the police officer, he was at home when he heard water running from an outside pipe. The police constable, he opened his door and he was heading outside, but he looked carefully and he saw someone in the dark near to where the pipe is. The police officer, he was hurrying back into the house when the hoodlum fired 3 shots at him. Luckily, the police officer, he managed to go back inside of the house without being harmed. The police were called, and we are told that when they processed this crime scene, 3 9mm pen shells were recovered near to the pipe. So, I told you about the intelligence received about the threat against cops by someone in the Little London area. We are also learning that just last month, this same police officer, he held a guy and brought him into police custody. That guy, he was said to be the main suspect in the murder of another guy named Aaron Salmon. Aaron, he was killed in the same Ebenezer area about 4 to 5 years ago. This policeman, he had held the guy who was the suspect in the murder, and he brought him into police custody just last month. We are told that that guy, he was questioned by the police and he was subsequently released due to a lack of evidence. You know what lack of evidence means sometimes? Witnesses refuse to give a statement. Ah boy. Now, in this next incident, it took place last night. Wednesday, May 10, about some minutes after 8 o'clock. It took place right at the intersection of the Garden and White House main roads in the parish of Westmoreland. We haven't yet gotten the full details as to exactly how this accident took place, and we are going to be updating this story in a subsequent video, but we are learning that a man, his name is Oray Bailey. He is 35 years old and he was living at Fuller's Wood in the parish of St. Elizabeth. Oray, he was riding his blue Cobra motorcycle along the White House main road. He was heading towards the parish of St. Elizabeth. A man driving an orange 2021 Honda HRV motorcar was traveling in the opposite direction. Like I said, I haven't gotten the full details, but the bike and the HRV, they collided. Oray, he was thrown from his bike onto the asphalted road and he received serious injuries. From all indication, Oray, he died on the spot. Like I said, I'll be updating this story in a subsequent video, but sad indeed. In this next incident, I carried a story yesterday. It was about the shooting of a 12-year-old girl about 7 o'clock yesterday morning. She was the passenger on a bike when hoodlums opened fire at the guy who was riding the bike. She was shot in her right shoulder, but the rider, he escaped unhurt. Well, we have gotten a few messages, and the messages, they are saying the same thing. I had said that the guy was running bike taxi and he was taking this young girl to school, but persons in the know, they are saying the same thing. I had said that the guy was running bike taxi and he was taking this young girl to school, but persons in the know, they are saying otherwise. Can you read between the lines? So, like I said yesterday, there was a shooting incident in the Canaan area of Dumfries and 2 men were killed. I had wondered aloud if the early morning shooting of the little girl and this double murder were related, and my reason for questioning that is based on the fact that the bike rider who the hoodlums really wanted, he escaped unhurt. So he would have known exactly where this shooting was coming from, and we are getting credible information that yes, the second shooting is a reprisal for the earlier one. And this is not me saying that the 2 guys who were killed are involved. I'm just saying that the information is the second shooting is a reprisal. I have gotten a video footage of the incident. I'll be dropping the video over on Patreon, but if you look on your screen, there is a snapshot from the video. One of the hoodlums is armed with a rifle and the other one, he has a pistol. We are told that a group of men were standing along the roadway when a motorcycle with 2 hoodlums aboard rode up. Both hoodlums, they came off the bike. The pillion, he was armed with a rifle and the rider, he pulled a pistol. The hoodlums, they opened gunfire on the men. The hoodlums, they then jumped back onto the bike and made good their escape. When the smoke was cleared, it was discovered that 2 men were hit. They received gunshot wounds to their upper body. One of the men, his name is Romaine Melville. He is 24 years old. From all indication, Romaine died on the spot. The other one, his name is Andrew Brown. He is 30 years old. Both of them lived in the same Canaan district area. Andrew, he was taken to the Falmouth Hospital by police officers where he was pronounced on arrival. We are told that when the police processed this crime scene, a number of 5.56 and 9mm spent shells were recovered from the scene. So, you think this done yet? You think so? Ah boy. The mayhem. So let me ask you something. Let me ask you something. Have you hit on the love button as yet? If you have not yet done so, remember to hit on it. Also, if you are over here watching our videos and you have not yet subscribed, hit on the subscribe button. As also, hit on the notification bell, then click all, so that whenever we drop a new video, you will be the first to be notified. In the final story for today, there was a double murder at Crawford Street in the Mount Salem area, broad daylight, Monday afternoon, May 8, about 12:30. In that incident, 3 men were shot by 2 hoodlums armed with an M16 rifle and a 9mm pistol. The hoodlums, they were traveling in a white Toyota Axio motorcar. In that incident, that man on your screen, his name is Enel Downer, but he was popularly known as Bow. And another man named Gavin Mills, but he was popularly known as Butty. They were both killed. A third man called Tonis, he was shot and wounded and is still battling in hospital. So, in case you didn't know, let me tell you how things go in Jamaica. Whenever a crime takes place, some persons know immediately where that incident is coming from. Remember me tell you, sometimes it's known right away who carried out the act. A lot of times when these incidents take place, the police, they usually get the intelligence as to who the perpetrators are. But the big problem is converting that intelligence into evidence, because while the police can name persons of interest based on intelligence, the police, they cannot charge or convict anyone based on intelligence alone. The police need evidence. So on Monday, when the double murder took place, the police received intelligence as to who the 2 perpetrators were. As a matter of fact, we are told that video footage captured something. So the police, they received intelligence that a family member of that man on your screen was involved in the attack. That man's name is Clive Lawson. He is 44 years old, and for years he operated a meat shop along the Mount Salem main road in the parish of St. James. That meat shop is close to where the double murder took place on Monday. We are told that the police, they went to Clive and they told him to try and leave the area for a while because based on the intelligence they had, he might be targeted. Clive, he did not take heed. In fact, this was not the first time that the police was warning Clive. On Friday, January 29, 2021, over 2 years ago, that man on your screen, his name is Chadwick Dryden, but he was popularly known as Smurf. Smurf was 31 years old at the time and he lived at Coconut Palm in Mount Salem. Smurf, he was shot and killed by hoodlums at the DMP Academy School when he went there to pick up his son from school. Clive, he was warned on that occasion by the police to leave the area. The police told him, "You will be targeted because it is said that a family member of yours was involved in the killing of Smurf." We are told that up to yesterday afternoon, Wednesday, May 10, about 1 o'clock, police officers again went to Clive's meat shop and they spoke to him. They told him that the intelligence about the threats on his life was real and he needs to give the area a break. Well, Clive, maybe, just maybe, he was thinking, at 2 years now police are warning me and nothing happened, so me good. Well, about a little bit under 4 hours after the police went and warned Clive, he was standing in front of his meat shop when the hoodlums pounced. They opened a barrage of gunshots hitting Clive all over his body, killing him on the spot. The hoodlums, they then made good their escape. The police were called and when they processed this crime scene, 28 9mm spent shells were recovered from the scene. We are told that since yesterday, the police and soldiers, they have put up barricade in the area and a lot of police and soldiers are on the ground. Remember now, a zone of special operation was already in that area. Clive, he was a businessman. He was a father. He was not involved in the war that is taking place. He was killed because of a family member. Do you think that's the end of it? The mayhem continues. Blessed love, everybody.
Tell a friend for tell a friend for tell a friend about Papa in Newslink and PNL Blog TV. Like, subscribe and share. Quicksilver sing if we just unite. What a country this will be if we just unite. Jamaica live in unity. If we just unite. What a country this will be if we just unite. Jamaica live in unity. Hey, crime it a mash up Jamaica. Criminals them a mash up Jamaica. Jamaicans mash up Jamaica. Oh Jamaica, me sweet Jamaica. Crime it a mash up Jamaica. Criminals them a mash up Jamaica. Jamaicans mash up Jamaica. Oh Jamaica, me sweet Jamaica. I coulda sunshine or rain. Jamaica, no problem, no pain. Rude boy them knock out can't tame, but me want me country back. Give me country back. To the street and the lane. Everybody them start complain. Bloodshed, what a shame, but me want me country back. Give me country back. Crime it a